All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you don't know who I am Jeff Durandis, JD the Great. You can find me on cheatcode.com. I have my trading floors from 8 a.m. to 1:30. I am going to change up my charting class, so stay tuned for that. Mindset was yesterday. It was fire, fire, fire. If you have not joined one of my mindset, you can find that on my YouTube. All my links is down below for my Instagram, website, YouTube. Twitter. Or is it still Twitter or is it X? Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever Elon Musk wanted. He probably gonna change it to, I don't know, sexy like his cars. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so right now, oops, mixes on there. Let me get rid of that bad boy. All right, so right now I am looking at the NQ. The NQ looks very interesting. And it looks like the NQ is starting to make a little bit of a rally after the news. Now, let me drop this to a smaller time frame. This is what happened when the news dropped. So we kind of took out some imbalances that was formed right here on Wednesday, and it looks like we're starting to form a little bit of a base. Now the news did come in a little mixed, right? So we're talking about some things was bullish for the dollar, some things was bearish for the dollar, but at the end of the day, it's the market. The market is going to respond to it. We only take the charts that's in front of us. We do not try to force the market. We don't have enough cash for that. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the Dixie, right? The way the dollar is actually moving right now. So we had a nice little pop here, right? But it's starting to pull back a little bit. The question is, if we look at this from a daily perspective, this is the downtrend that we're on, right? So I'm curious, will this downtrend hold? Is this a retracement? Is this a morning star to continue to the upside? The cheat code tells us that we are at the entry level. So this could be a nice little retracement for entry to short the dollar back down. Now, the dollar is not a tradable asset. But if you know what the correlations are and if there are sentiments to the dollar, you could trade it that way. And if there's some inverses to it, you could trade it that way. So be smart with your trades. All right. So the market may be a little volatile now that we got a good chunk of the news out the way. Unfortunately, what's going on to Hamas and Israel, it's terrible. I don't like the fact of death or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it is having an effect to the market. So make sure you are being diligent and you're doing all what you're supposed to do when it comes down to your trades. All right. It sounds like our futures floor is over there making some money over there. They're going off in the chat. All right. Congratulations on some W's. I see y'all. I see y'all. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, um, as usual, how I kind of look at things, it's all good. It's all good. How I look at things at the end of the day, I like to look at the NQ. The NQ looks like it wants to have its nice little pop here. If this thing turns into that W that I kind of pointed out a while back, this will make things interesting. Actually, let me get rid of this line. This was when I was back testing. All right. So we got to get through this order block new or I don't know, a little bit of a sprinkle of fair value that kind of happened right here at September 15th. I don't know how 930 is going to go, but we're probably looking at 15,469. Depending on how this level reacts to it, we may be either A, forming a more evening star because we had a nice little uptrend and this order block can reject it and start pushing to the downside, or we'll probably go ahead and break out, come to the upside, and then probably fill that gap. All right. So keep an eye on that. So if you are looking for tickers and you can't figure out where you want to put your tickers, by all means, I do suggest using the stock screener. The stock screener is really, really useful. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and go with one with the weekly. So mine is very simple. I don't make it real complicated. It's basically the 200 moving average is above the 50 moving average on the weekly. All right. So let's see what we find on that one. Weekly. Let me change this to weekly. Boom. All right. So we got Amazon was looking very bullish. Might have to do that one. And let's see. 'Cause I think I kind of covered it yesterday, but we'll go and look at it from a weekly standpoint again. And Paycom, Shopify. Actually, you know what? Shopify has a little bit of sentiment to Amazon. Let's look at Shopify. Let's do that. right, let's get rid of these lines. Boom. And let's get rid of the screen. All right, it looks like Shopify is forming a base right here and it's rejecting the entry. That's not a good sign. If I put the cheat code lines on, you'll see that this is a level of support that it is kind of struggling to hold. All right, so I want to see this come back and fill this fair value gap. If it actually does fill this fair value gap and gets past $61, I probably would consider taking that entry somewhere around 66 if it holds. That should take us to TP1. So keep an eye on Shopify and going into 2024. Maybe it'll actually try to make that move. Now, before it can make that move, it has to get rid of this downtrend that is forming, this micro downtrend. And like I said before, you got a point, a lower low, lower high, lower low off of this. So if it breaks that reversal, it needs to break the trend. And our entry is sitting right there at that pivotal point that could go ahead and flip Shopify bullish. All right. So keep that one in mind. All right. Let's go to another one. Another one we will do. Let's go with reversing 2. Okay. So reversing 2. This one is just the opposite. I got the 200 moving average. Hey, good morning, Casey. 200 moving average is below the 50 moving average. So let's see how that looks. All right. Oh, actually, I closed the wrong thing. Let's see. We have AMD, but AMD was rallying, so we could peek at that. Celsius, it's been on a downtrend a little bit because people are starting to cash out some of the profits. It had a really, really good run. Heiko, they make jet engines out of Fort Lauderdale. I used to invest in them. Eli, oh, Eli Lilly. Let's look at Eli Lilly. I haven't talked about Eli Lilly in a little bit. Oh, wow. Okay. So that was a nice little retracement. So that way it could go ahead and continue back up to the upside. I guess people really does like that diet pill that they keep on selling over there. All right, so let's see. Eli Lilly had a nice little 3 candles going down on the weekly. It looks like it kind of held support. Earnings is on November 2nd. So that's less than a month away. Be careful. That's what I will go with. Remember, Eli Lilly has not been up here. This is a complete rally. This is all-time high. That's my 12-month chart, right? So where it is right now, it could be toppy. So if you were going to take this, being that the 200 below the 50, which means bullish, ever since it had its run all the way back here. All right, so it looks like since 2012, when it had its golden cross, right there, it has not looked back. So if you want to do this as a sizable investment, wait for the pullback and then jump into it. That perfectly good pullback was roughly around that October, September drop that we kind of balanced back and forth. That could have been a good spot to kind of reposition yourself. If we check out this sell signal, boom, there's your uncle. We should be taking off. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. So we got Casey. Casey put some tickers inside of here. Oh, sound like somebody making some money. All right, I see you, Christy. All right, so ANF. I think we talked about this. Let's see if we can get a nice little update on this one. Abercrombie and Fitch. Casey likes his small caps. We've explained that before. It was going long. I think he had a little bit of a lower level, but this day it pretty much moved $1.73. So if he actually took some of these ideas that he suggested, his entry now is 61.63, looking for continuation. I'm still stuck on a target of $63, $65. It's going to be a little tough there. Let me adjust this because I think I did this. When did I do this? I think I did it on the 1 hour. How did I do that line? Must have been 4 hour. Let's see if I can figure that out. Might have been 4 hour. Yeah, I think it probably was the 4 hour. Let me just adjust that line. Right. So if we look at this, right, it looks like we got ourselves a nice healthy uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, right? And right now we're starting to get to that 4 hour TP1. So that's what I'm saying. You're probably going to have some people probably take their money around this level. But either way, it should go ahead and continue. You said 74. I do have TP4 at the 4 hour there, and this does look like it's going up. If we look at the weekly, looks like party just started. So keep an eye on how Friday closed. If it doesn't give a good long wick here, I think this is going to be a Maribuzu type of candle, and it just continues to the upside. All right, so that should be good. That should be a good trade. Let me speed up. I want to knock out at least three of your tickers for you. Bob BHVN. Let's see this BHVN. I think we did Bob before. BHVN on daily. They're a little bit of a new company. Looks a little familiar. I think we talked about this before. Looking for a long entry at $28. $28 brings you up to this level here. And okay, I see where you're going with it. Look at the weekly. It looks like it's pointing straight up, so that is a good sign. Stop loss. I would go with stop loss $23, not $18. $18 will bring you a little into that gap. Not a fan of it. Or you might get a retracement where it fills the gap and then continue. I guess that's what you're going with. But I would go with 23, then watch and then see what it does and then pick it back up at $18 if it comes back to it. Let's see. You got a target of $46. I think it's attainable. That brings you to TP3, TP2, somewhere around there. That should be a good little entry in that regard as well. So look forward to get past that 28 and it probably get some momentum because of that weekly. And then CEG or NN. I kind of know X. That's steel. I have not looked at the materials in a while. Actually, let's do steel. Mm, Looks like a rising wedge a little bit. It looks like it's getting toppy. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks tired. It does really look tired. So I would say if anything, you have a target or entry at 33.76. I'm okay with that. You're about to go into an order block on the weekly, so that might be a tough little area. Stop loss at 32.63. I like it. Maybe even 31.93. And take off to $35. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I would say this one's probably a hard trade. I would like for it to do a deeper pullback and get some friends. All right. Let's do one more. Well, one last one. And then NTXT. Let's see what that is. NTNX. I'm at Nautanix. Like I said, he loves his small caps. This is what he's looking at. So let's see what this looks like on the daily. Okay, so we got ourselves an entry at $38. Pre-market's down, you're probably going to get that. And then you got a stop loss at 37. I'll be okay with 35 also if you want to go ahead and run with it. And then your target, $42. It's not bad. We're starting to pin the Stoke to the top. Let me see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, I think I like it. That one looks better than X. So ANF, BHVN, and NTNX. I think those are the ones that's probably going to really knock it out. All right, that is our show. Appreciate everyone that's watching, that's actually hearing my voice. By all means, follow. If you're trading by yourself and you don't have no friends to trade with, come join cheatcode.com. We do stocks and options, futures, forex, and also crypto. Come and join us. We have fun. We trade together. We make money. And if you want to go ahead and get my YouTube link, subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. I appreciate it. And before you leave out of here, hit the rocket button. Thank you, Casey. You always consistent. I appreciate you too. And I will see y'all Tuesday at 8:45. Later.